वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। ये मेरे चैनल का 5वीं वीडियो है और अभी मोस्ट कॉमन कोड एक्ट्रैक्टिंग टेक्निक। There are many approaches and techniques today for the code that is discuss the some popular red green refracting. Red green is the most popular and the widely used to code the refracting the techno in the agile software development process. The technique followed the first test pass approach to design the information that lets the function for all from of reflecting development take the activity for the reflecting into the test development cycle and it is the performance into the three step district steps. Write just enough the code to the pass test green reflecting Optim- optimize clean up without adding new the and with the confidence. Read write filling test. Read the first step test with the writing the following the read test. You stop and the check what needs to be developed for green, and the second step you write the simplest enough code in the get developed fast of pass green test reflecting. And the final and third step, you focus on improving and in changing your code, keeping your test green. So basically, this the techno has two distinct part to the first part improving the writing a code that the adds a new function to your system and keep, and the second part is all about the reflecting the code that does this function. Keep in mind that we are not supposed to do the both at the same during the workflow. Number 2, reflecting by abstraction. This technique is mostly used by the developer when there is a need to do a large amount or of reflecting. The mainly we use this the technique to reduce the redundant duplication is our code. This involves the class instruction hierarchy, creating now class and the interface extraction, replacing inheritance with the delegate and the vice versa. Client code average and client code aberration layer flat supplier. Client code aberration and the new supplier. Full up push down. Full up push down the method is the best example of this approach. Full up method it's full of code the parts into a superclass and the help in the elimination of code the duplication. Push down method it takes the code the part of from the superclass and moves moves it down into the subclasses. Full of the full of the constructor body extract subclass extract sub superclass class the hierarchy the from the template method extract interface the replace and with the dedication the replace the deletion with the push down the fill. All these are the other example. Basically, in this the technique we build the layer for those parts of the system that needs to be the reflected and the constructed part that is initially going to the replace it to the common example are given below. And placed field we force the code to access the field with the getter and setter method. Generation type we create more general type to allow code sharing. Replace type checking code with the test and the state replace conditionally with permission etc. Number 3. Composing method. During the development phase of in the application, a lot of the time we write the long method in our program. This long the method make your code extremely hard to understand it and the hard to change. The composing method is mostly used in this class. In this approach, we have the streamline the method to reduce duplication in our code. Some example some example are the extract. The method extract is available in line the temp the replace temp with the query and line the method split temporary variable remove essentially the parametrics this etc extraction. We break the code into the smaller chunk the find and the extract the programmation. After that we create the separate the method for these chunks and then it is replaced with a call to this new method. Extension involves a class interfaces and a local variable in line. This approach moves the number of the unnecessary method in our program. We find all all calls the method to the method and then we replace all of them with the content of the method. After that we delete the method from our program. Sampling method. There are two techniques involved in this approach. Let's discuss both of them. Sample condition expression condition the statement in the programming the becomes more logical and the complicated over time. You need to the simplify the logic in our code to understand the whole program. There are so many ways to the refactor the code and simplify the logic. Some of them are the consideration conditional expression and the duplicate conditional program is discompose the conditional replace conditional proposition remove the control the flag replace unnecessary conditional with the guard clauses at it is sampling method calls reflecting. In this approach, we make method calls simpler and the easier to understand. We work in the translation between the classes and we simply the interface of them. For the example, we are adding the remove and the introducing new parameter, replacing the parameter with the explicit method and method calls parameter to make a separator query and query from the modifier previous the whole object removes string etc.